You're gonna put yourself in the line of fire. You know what's gonna happen, right? What are you doing? Waxing your nuts? Get out of the bathroom, you rodent fuck! Oh, fine! Jeez! Welcome to Dat Game. I'm Shades, and yeah, I know what you're thinking. You guys are wondering, Shades, why would you be bringing up the recent announcement of Space Jam 2?
The wound has been tainted with salt. Let it rest, man.
I kid. But seriously, I'm gonna let that train run off the fucking track. But in all seriousness, today we're gonna be talking about a game that you guys request a lot. A game that you guys request that I don't review.
You don't want to see me suffer a terrible fate? Well, we've covered the lewd, the bad, and the ugly. It's time to brave a whole new category. But I'm not going to say it. No. You can all sit there wanting me to throw fireballs towards the social justice shield that is Revolution 60. Don't you?
I think I'm a little bit better than that. I drove a tank into a woman's vagina. I think I've got some maturity. So to help me review Revolution 60 today, I've got the host of Neat Life and Dead Gamers Talking, the girl who is on the front lines, Socks.
Hi Shades, you know, you can say Gamergate.
Not gonna say it.
What are you, a pussy?
No! I'm gonna give my honest opinion on this game. I am gonna make sure that none of that thing gets, you know, I'm not going to say that stuff.
Gamergate.
Yes, that topic. We're not going to talk about that, okay?
Okay, fine, we won't talk about it. But you're gating my gamers.
Yes, I think they got it!
Revolution 60 was created by Brianna Wu and her company Giant Space Cat, an iOS game about a team of spies led by a girl named Holiday. Their mission is to take back control of a space station and its AI. Pretty straightforward.
Recently, the team ported it to PC and wanted to release it on Steam, so they decided to put it through Steam Greenlight. Of course, this was a drama festival that culminated with astroturfing with new single-purpose Steam accounts from either the devs or their friends voting yes on the game, and hilariously bad troll bait attempts.
It got a review from the LA Times saying it was a sci-fi game that puts women at the front.
Beyond Good and Evil. Fear Effect 2. Sorry.
Man, Socks, you know your shit.
What can I say? I love what I do.
So the game boots up powered by the Unreal Engine. It's here that we meet Holiday, the assassin, Minuet, her commander, Amelia, the engineer, and Valentina, the unknown.
Lots of girls, no guys. Sounds like my matriarchy, huh, Shades?
Well, it may be like Charlie's Angels or Danger Girl. I'm willing to keep my mind open at this point.
You won't have a mind by the end of it.
So starting a new game, we get to see Valentina regretting her life choices.
How ironic.
Cut back a few minutes, we find Holiday talking to the chessboard AI, before we are introduced to the decision-making in the game.
Yeah, sure. Gameplay.
You haven't played this, have you?
No, and I won't play an overinflated iOS QuickTime event simulator. That's why you're doing it.
That's not fair!
Anyway, the game plays out in a decision-based format. I guess kinda like Heavy Rain. But the thing I notice most is that the decisions don't really matter that much. Most of the game's decisions are either professional or sarcastic. The only time the gameplay changes is when you get a disadvantage in a fight. Using the slide function on the screen, you rotate or tap when requested to progress the story. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything, more like you're just pressing next in a different way each time. So as we put up with the sass of chessboard, we jump on a ship and double tap the bitch.
I'll be back.
What?
Straight away, the game gives off a PlayStation 1 vibe. By that I mean the graphics seem to fit in with the PS1 era. However, some of the design choices are just lazy. Such as this bike. Really, guy? Come on, guys! If you can't be bothered to animate the wheels, at least indicate that it's designed to hover. Otherwise, it just looks like this.
Hey Shades, come on, Brianna Wu, the lead dev, did say, and I'm quoting here, "I'm one of the best known women developers in the world today."
Okay, that's a fucking stretch.
Okay, well it says on her website, and I'm quoting here again, Revolution 60 is a breakthrough game for the iPad.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Back up a second there. What the fuck is so revolutionary about this?
It's a game where you make decisions using motion on a touchscreen. Unless she means the breakthrough is the girls or the sexy factor, in which case, let me pull up a list of games that's done this before.
I'm sorry, and what the fuck does it mean when it says a deliberate mixture of Heavy Rain and Mass Effect? So, it's a derivative and unoriginal wankfest?
Anyway, after the ride on bikestatic_3D.model, we make it to the tribal tattoo quarters. No, really, look at this. It's the tribal tattoo headquarters. And check out Holiday. She's got a tribal tattoo on her face. The only people that should be getting tribal tattoos are tribal people.
If you have a tribal tattoo and you're not tribal, you're a fucking idiot!
So, Team B makes its way to the fortress, alerting the tribal troops. Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Yeah, we'll you know what? We'll just call them that.
Actually, they look like what would happen if Jack Skellington and a Sarlacc had a weird nightmare love child.
Again, 10 minutes in, and I still don't feel like I'm really controlling anything, other than the movies or which direction the characters go. It's more like an interactive story. Next, Minuet gets her bug instincts on and literally turns into a bug. Is this some type of vision or some type of combat move? Who knows, but she goes full Ant-Man.
Makes sense.
Also, take note, she's wearing a chessboard dress. Let's just take that, and we'll put that over here for now. We'll come back to it.
After Holiday remakes the Final Fantasy VII bike scene, she meets up with freesounds.org. Come on guys, it went from corny to cheesy to just lazy. So with Val down, Holiday calls for help. In all honesty, Val, Minuet, and Amelia are quite hot for sub-characters, but the design isn't exactly revolutionary. Hell, it's more hip-breaking. But Holiday, I don't really feel connected to her sexually. I guess that's what she was trying to go for?
The lead dev Brianna Wu actually admits she got complaints that her game was too sexualized, and she wants to tone it down in the next game she makes, billing herself as some kind of sex-positive feminist while advocating the notion that other creative works are exploitative of women is kind of contradictory. I mean, her character design isn't dead or alive, but, I mean, them curves, those butts, come on.
Now we're at the combat section of the game. Remember that little bit where I said about the chess dress thing? You know, I said for us to hold it back earlier? Just grab that, bring that back here, because we're going to need it for this next bit.
What is it with these chess themes of this game? The AI they take orders from is named Chessboard, Minuet's dress is a chessboard, and the combat system is a chessboard with timing. So it's fucking chess!
Okay. How about women in decision-based video game? Innovative and never done before. Revolutionary game design. What What else? Well, things I like are chess and tribal tattoos. Yeah. That's a game.
I know it sounds like I'm harping on about the combat here, but here's the thing. The combat doesn't change. This is what you've got to do in the game. Every time you meet a bad guy, you feel like the story's going to tell you, no, fuck you. Beat this thing so then we can progress. Now even the game is confused, wanting to know if it's even a game at all or a simple story decision game. Hell, it could be both. Mass Effect does it well, but in Revolution 60, it just makes everything move so freaking slow. You do level up and use your skill tree to add more moves and attack power, but the bad guys get tougher, so it doesn't really change anything. In fact, it actually feels slower sometimes. Holiday shoots down what I assume is a little robot thing from Portal, but it's filled with noodles. Holiday reprograms the noodle robot to carry Val and tries to leave.
Isn't she meant to be an independent woman character? Why doesn't she carry Val? I mean, she's meant to be the hero.
Minuet promotes Amelia to pilot, and I move my knight to E3. The big conversation trees you share with the characters don't really change much. You learn just a few new things. It's the small decisions that make you progress to the different endings. Even when it's a simple yes or no, it's really just a yes with a different tone. Not so much a game changer, but more of a reflection of the way you treat your fellow agents. The third part of the game is the free roam element, but it's not so much free roam as click and move the camera. It's really banking on choice as being the main focus. But here, it really doesn't work. Hell, I want to see the ship. Let me walk around, damn it. I want to see a space toilet.
You know, the script wasn't well received because it was written as a screenplay. So they changed the long cutscenes to have continuous interaction.
Fuck's sake, this is a movie. It's a game trying its hardest to be a game, but it's a movie. It's an it's like if I went like this, next scene. That is the game, it's a fucking movie. Heavy Rain, you know Heavy Rain, the one on PlayStation, Heavy Rain, that had more substance to it as a game. And that was meant to be an interactive movie adventure. That has more fucking substance than this fucking game. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You're interrupting me right now, because I'm playing a game. Don't bother me. I'm playing a game that looks like a movie, but it's definitely a fucking game. So you better fuck up. Oh, that was so much fun!
A tribal trooper makes it onto the ship. By the way, I love when a bad guy just shoots at nothing. Did I hit her? Yeah, man, yeah, you fucking nailed it, bruh.
So to give you an idea, this game isn't too big. The level cap is 9, and for a game where you level up, that's not really much at all. To give you an idea of the combat itself, I'm going to show you in real time a battle from start to finish, how long it takes me. Just watch.
It's like watching paint dry.
So we make it to the chessboard spaceship where we must re-establish control. Moving my pawn to D2.
Wait, why the fuck did she bring her bike with her?
That's a good point. It's not exactly the best place to use this, but if she didn't use her bike, she would have got fried in the laser beams.
For the plot!
That and it just looks fucking stupid. We find out that Amelia and the chessboard team have been working on geisha bots. That's the thing.
You know, this would be much better if they were just sex bots. Actually, a lot of things would be better if the entire cast was just sex bots.
Don't get me wrong, sexy geisha robots are pretty hot, but man, if they were sex robots, sign me the fuck up.
Minuet has a couple of bugs to swarm through her system. Something about T100 being out of date or something, and meanwhile Holiday has a fight in what I assume is an incubator room for weed.
Dank.
Smoke weed every day.
Now, a lot, and I mean a lot of combat happens. Like a boring amount of combat. Until we find a room that looks like the Ratman from Portal was writing his stories on the walls. And make it to the core of the spaceship. Which is convenient, because now she gets to fight some geishas.
For the plot! Actually, you know what? We've seen enough.
Oh, thank God, I'm dying here.
Look, to be honest with you, the game's not too bad.
Wait, are you kidding me?
Well, it's not a game. It's more of an interactive story, but I do believe there are two ways to look at this.
If this game was released in the PS1 years, it would have been within the times. No doubt, actually a cult classic. And it would have revolutionized the way we play games too, as back then decision making wasn't such a popular mechanic. But for a game in the now, it's been done before. It does feel like they're trying to recapture the retro nostalgia, but because it's so confused in itself, there's no way the player is supposed to be able to figure out what media it's meant to be. Is it a game? Is it a movie? Is it a book? Judging it from the DAT game perspective, it's not too bad, but it also doesn't offer anything more than what you see. This makes the cover seem deceiving, but actually it lands just a little bit lower than that, into confusing. Not a complete disappointment, but just not knowing what it is. And it's not really worth the price admission either.
I mean, I'm not saying don't buy the fucking thing. If you want a science fiction quick time event novel, then it's fine. But remember that this game, as it is, was what the devs wanted to make. With the hypersexualized and deformed main cast to its derivative plot, it doesn't really conform to the mainstream, and it's far from unique. But it was their vision, and we have to respect that this was the game they wanted to make. But you know what? You're smart enough to know where you stand on this. You are the gamer, and you can make your own decisions. But remember, the people you are supporting might talk about making many different types of games the way they want to make them. But at the same time, they will attack other artists and their creative visions for not being politically correct. So, maybe take that into consideration if that's your thing.
You hit the nail on the head, Socks.
Well, this has been fun, Shades. Just remember, when you play another perverted game and you need a sock for relief, remember that sock may just be me.
Okay. Well, I'm Shades, and remember, you get what you paid for. Good night.
Don't you dare